Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Nikon, Ozonics, Redneck Blinds, Rocket Broadheads, RTP Outdoors, Trophy Rock, Spot Hog Releases, Wilderness Athlete, Viking Solutions, and Realtree.
Wait till it gets further. He walks straight north. That big brush pile up there. If he gets behind that, I'll grab that. Well, it's 7:30 here, and that's the buck that Mike and I call Eli. good looking 8, and I'm back in the same stand this morning that I encountered him a couple days ago, and couldn't pull it off, and he spotted me trying to turn when I had a bedded buck in front of me. So I was thinking, going into the stand this morning, hoping that he had a short-term memory, and that proved true. I saw him at 50 yards and really thought we were in the chips. I thought we were going to get a shot at him, but he kind of turned and angled away. And that wind definitely had him kind of freaked out. Those big gusts and everything blowing around had him pretty nervous. And I almost didn't grunt at him because of that reason. But I also didn't want to watch him walk away without trying, so I threw a few grunts his way, and obviously he looked but wasn't interested. So hopefully he'll circle back around at some point this morning. I've got pretty good conditions. Cold, as you can see, we got the rain gear on this morning. We got rain in the area. It was raining while I was setting up the stand. Mike and I got in here really early, but it's cold, strong northwest wind this morning, and it's supposed to continue basically all day. Mike and I are gonna hunt this farm the whole day. We'll probably switch stands sometime around midday, but hopefully we'll have a good couple of hunts. That buck Eli, that's encounter number 3 out of our last 4 hunts here, so he's a very killable deer, and Mike and I have kind of come to the conclusion that we're going to call him a mature deer at 5+, just based on some of his facial characteristics and some of the pictures we had earlier in the season. So with any luck, we'll see him again yet this morning. Well, it's after 11 now, and Mike and I are going to start packing things up. Overall, been a pretty slow morning. Figured when that rain stopped, we'd start seeing some bucks cruising around. But we really didn't see much after Eli. We saw a couple does and a 1.5-year-old chasing another doe later in the morning, and that's been it. So Mike is up to bat next, and we're going to game plan on where we want to go this afternoon. Hopefully catch up with Eli here pretty soon.
It's about 3 o'clock on the afternoon of Saturday, November 18th, and Jared and I are all set up for the afternoon hunt. We've already had a doe and 2 fawns come by just about 10 minutes ago, and they just worked right through at about 45 yards. You've heard us talk about the head of the slough. This stand we've hunted a few times. I hunted there on the 15th and had really good movement, saw 25 deer. Very similar conditions, northwest wind, blustery, 20 mile an hour that afternoon after a front came through. And the deer tend to stage in this little wood lot on the east side of that slough before working out through the willows and the WRP out to the cut corn. So we're getting in here sort of in bow range to try to just make it a little bit easier that we don't have to try to call one to us. It's getting a little late for that. Sometimes it works, you know, but like this morning obviously didn't work. Eli was acting a little funny, but he's our primary deer that we're after in here. We've got a couple other mature bucks, but Eli's the one that we've seen 3 out of the last 4 hunts, and I saw him just the other day 100 yards to the west of here, so he's the one we're looking for. It's about 40 degrees, but with the wind chill it's closer to 30. And we're definitely cutting off some area behind us here with this northwest wind, but there's a lot of brush, and the trails tend to kind of split around this tree. So that's why we picked this tree. As you can tell, it is a very small tree. I think it's about 8 inches in diameter or so, and with this wind, I'm not sure if it was the smartest idea, but we're going to go ahead and try it. It's one of the few trees that has some cover on it, so we're going to see what we can do. Hopefully we have a good afternoon. Well, we're down to our last few minutes here, and unfortunately it was another slow hunt. Jared and I got to ride in the tree all night long. It's been swaying back and forth, pretty gusty winds. I was expecting much better deer movement, but it just didn't happen. So we're going to get packed up here pretty soon, and we'll be back on this farm in the morning hoping for better luck.